And welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes in a Train. This is Ed, I'm Roland, and today we're going to be printing out our track via the Third Planet program. And right now I have it all set up on my computer right now. And we're going to be talking a little bit about one of the features that I really liked about this program is how you can go to a 1-to-1 scale and how you can omit all the pages that you don't need. And now what I did here is I actually took my track, printed it onto a new I don't know, plan, if you want to say that. So all I have is just a track. I don't want to print any of the landscape or any trees like that because that's just more rendering, more ink. It's just not needed. Okay, so I omitted that. So right now I'm in the process of taking out all of the squares here, and just by holding down the shift key, you know, that's one of the things I like about Third Planet here is that it's just fun to work with. And you got anything to add on there, Ed?
Not right now. There's plenty of model railroading design programs. I've used the Third Planet in the past, and I turned Roland onto it. And the designing of it, the printing of it, it even allows you to put a modeled train on the track, which you can then run around, and you can kind of see if you have a potential problem somewhere, which I think is a pretty handy side benefit of the program. So we're going to print out the track plan diagram, and we're going to use that to lay it out on the tabletops, and that's going to help us determine how we're going to paint the backdrop. And Roland does want to put a stream in there or a small river, and that'll also help with the placement of the river. We're going to use the printed version instead of going with the track because obviously you only want to lay the track down once, not pick it up and remove it every time. So that's our plan for now, and this is the first step.
Alrighty, I think I have all of the squares omitted that that we don't need. Basically, just a walk area. As you see by the screen here, all the spots that are in red are the pages that are not needed, and look like we're about up to 170 pages, man.
I got the paper ready right here.
Alrighty, well. Let's, okay, I got the pages number registered, marks, column by rows. Well, let's give it a shot. Let's see about 170 pages. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of excited because even though there's lots of other programs out there like SCARM, AnyRail, they do have the 3D rendering, the printable 1-to-1 scale, all the updated files, you know. And what I found out, and I did play with them just to demos, but I have actually purchased the Third Planet, okay, just because I wanted those extra features that were needed, you know. And it's more based on a CAD format, if you want to call it that. So you almost kind of have to know to look at different things, you know, like for instance, if you look at the screen here,
I'm going to need the ink cartridge.
Oh, going to need the ink cartridge. Oh, there you go. It's already asking for ink.
It
says cartridge is very low on ink.
No worries. But we were prepared for this. You know, we got the ink because it's going to be a lot of pages. You know, and that's just why I took out all the layers and everything and just printed just the track. Just to save on ink, save on paper, and everything else like that. So how are we looking? How's the first page look?
I'm a little hesitant here. Let's see. There's the first page.
Oh yeah, now see that is a 1-to-1 scale.
Okay, well, I'm assuming we got something like this.
Okay.
And we'll know more when we get some more track.
Yeah. Now this is going to be. It's just pretty much going to be like a big jigsaw puzzle. And luckily with this printable way here, it's all numbered. They got like little grid marks you can put on the sides of it there. Okay, what we got there?
We have our marks here to line the paper up. And then you see the number. This is section 1118. And if we look here, this is 1119. So that gives us the idea that it's going to be like this.
Okay.
And we'll be able to build them together like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
And there is going to be a lot of blank papers just with numbers on them, because if you look at the screen, all of the blank areas within the track itself, we're going to keep there just for reference areas and size. And, you know, maybe if we want to take a pencil or a Sharpie, you know, we can make some pseudo buildings, you know, without marking up the foam board or the actual layout itself. So I think that'd be a good aspect of it, you know. And yeah, this program is actually very nice. You know, I like working in the layers, how you can separate everything. I'm a little nervous right now, you know, so I don't want to do too much with this program, with it printing here. Maybe on another episode, we'll go into a little bit more in depth on the features and everything. And dude, there's a lot you can do with this. You know, you can do, you know, the track layout. You can go all the way to the extent of designing your own buildings, sending it through a 3D printer or a 3D laser cutter, you know, or a laser engraver. You know, you guys know what I mean, you know. And it's already programmed into it, you know. So this program is a lot, you know. I'm really liking it. So, well, while we're waiting, you know, we'll probably play some music in the background and watch this print out. And the next spot when we come to would be my garage when we're playing puzzle. And before we get started, I wanted to show you how I got started in this. This is my first layout, which is just a simple oval. As we see here, we're going to, my very first scratch build house, like a little train station, if you see there. You can see it's well built. Matter of fact, I kind of overbuilt it, you know. And Ed was talking to me about some of the models that he's built. And yeah, so I kind of really, but it's built, it's Ford tough, okay? And it may look a little funky, but I think the roof has too much of a peak on it. But being my first scratch build, I think I did a good job. Hold on. Anyway, so Ed was going to show me a little trick with a 9-volt battery that I probably didn't even really know about if you got a DC setup. Just take a 9-volt battery, and if you want to test the track to see if it's like all lined up before you get all your electronics and all your, you know, your main electronics on, you can do individual test tracks and make sure if it's going to work for you. If you have any derailments or anything, and yeah, just with a simple 9-volt battery.
So we just take a 9-volt battery, and as long as this is a DC powered locomotive, you just put the 9-volt on and she'll run. You can run around, and this is really helpful for when you're setting up the track to begin with. And you can run it back and forth without having to go through all the hassle of dropping your feeder wires and connecting everything. So it's a nice little handy tip to just keep a 9-volt battery handy and test your track as you're building it.
Now, that doesn't get warm, does it? I guess if
No.
you keep it on for long enough, it doesn't, like, baby, gotta worry about any kids getting burned. Like, don't try this at home, kids, you know.
No, not at all, because, you know, you're really not holding it for that long.
Okay.
You're just running it back and forth a few times.
Any shock?
No
any
shocks or
Okay,
anything.
because, you know, we will be getting to that.
The terminals on it are just wide enough to set it on the track. You want to reverse, you just flip the battery over.
Okay.
And she'll run.
So I guess this is one you could try at home. Oh, I forgot to mention, you know, what actually got me started in this also was being part of a club. You know, support your local hobby shops, support your local clubs, you know, and help out, because I tell you, this is where I'm at now. And if it hasn't been for that little bit of boost of inspiration, people like Ed helping you all throughout the way, you know, I mean, this is what I've been finding out, the #1 world's greatest hobby, you know, and it's great, and I'm really starting to see it. So let's just keep it all going, you know. All right, so now here it is. Here's my baby. About 170 pages of 1-to-1 scale, and this is actually going to be very helpful as far as planning my track, because if anything goes wrong, if I have a building in the wrong spot, or if it just isn't lining up, this will save a lot of time, a lot of money, because once you start laying track and you find out that it's not working, you got to go to a plan B, then you may be buying more track, so this will save a lot of money in the long run, and we off camera before we started this, we had to cut down the margins and everything, and it's pretty all set. It's all 1-to-1. It's all 1-1, 1-2, so it's all in order. You just line up the squares and lay it out. And if you look at the screen here, obviously this is where it's going to be, and if the calculations are correct as far as with this being a CAD program, this should work. So let's get started, Ed. I'm excited.
All right.
I'm excited.
Time to put the puzzle pieces together.
Oh yeah, the big old puzzle piece. Well, you know what? I think this is the biggest puzzle I've ever put together.
Me too.
Alrighty, well, tell you what, I believe the 1-1, if I'm not mistaken, starts in that one corner there, and it goes across like this. And there's going to be a lot of blank pieces of paper that we're going to put down also, and you're probably going to wonder why we just don't omit it. Well, another good thing about doing it like this is that we can draw in buildings. We can erase buildings. We can get a very good setup on the final 1-to-1 large scale of what you need to do. So you're going to see a lot of blank pages. This is going to be crazy, man. This is crazy. This is actually kind of cool though, because actually it's gonna really get an idea on what this is gonna look like, and I'm really excited too, man. Really excited, And because what Ed and I are talking about is trying to get a laser cutter, and maybe even like a resin 3D printer, but we're still kind of up in arms. So you know what? If anybody's got any comments on there on a good laser cutter, that you may want to recommend, give us a comment down below, and we'll definitely respond, and we'll check it out, because that'd be the next step, because, looking at it, there's a lot of people we need to make, a lot of trees, a lot of buildings, when we start on Ed's project.
I'd like to build a city, a whole city with a harbor and everything, with a big old New York skyline, and it's pretty ambitious. Don't know if it's really going to come together or not, but it's one of the things. We'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to building it. Once we get done with this, I think at that time we'll be starting on his, and yeah, he's been telling me about it, and you think this is ambitious. Ooh, I can't wait to start on that one. But you've had layouts before though.
A few.
Just moving all of your train stuff was just amazing. Oh my God, and some of the vintage stuff that he's got. Oh, I can't wait to. Yeah, that's a whole 2-3 episodes in itself, just going through his boxes. This is the first row. Okay, you can see how it's all lining up. All nice 1-to-1 scale. And I think we're on number 8, so I think we got
a few more for row 1.
Oh, wow.
And I think we'll just start going to town.
Yeah.
Maybe through the magic of editing, we'll do the fast forward.
Yeah, put a little music behind us, have us run around. righty. We're done, bro. We are done. You know, about the easiest puzzle I'll ever put together. It came with numbers and little blocks on the corners. So, but it works out very well. As you can see from when we were putting it together, how it all pieced together. As you notice, we've shifted it a little bit, but I think it worked out well. The little bit of extra room that I gave myself, we can either put more scenery or put more track, depending on how we're going. And yeah, I think, man, what do you think, Ed? I think this is it, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm really liking it. Looks really great. And the advantage of doing it on the paper was we had some issues. And just being able to take the whole paper as one unit and shift it around to get it to fit the board right was much easier than peeling up track and relaying everything.
Oh, my God, yes.
Definitely was worth the effort.
Yeah, I'd have to say this was definitely worth it. It took us, about a good couple hours? About two and a half hours to do this, you know, but it was actually very simple. The way it was printed out was very nice, you know. Only thing I really didn't like about it is that when we ran out of ink, you know, and we had to restart, it shifted the paper, okay? We still got the track to line up, but the grid pattern all came off. But you know what? That's no big deal because the track itself still lines up, you know. So other than that, this thing worked beautifully. Give us a good idea for our next step and our next episode. Next thing we'll do is we'll start talking about where we're going to put some mountains. Maybe talk about over here whether we want some trees. You know, maybe another building.
The backdrop.
Yep, the backdrop. You know, now we got an understanding on where things are. We can start our backdrops. You know, 'cause this is all going to be trees. You know, over here we'll talk about where we're going to put in a river that goes off to the backdrop or behind it onto the scenery. Yeah, so I think we are moving right along, and this is very, very nice, dude.
Absolutely.
Very nice day, Ed.
Worked out good. I want to point out the idea. This is a pretty large board, and one of the things you want to consider when you're designing or planning a layout is your reachability. If you have a problem in the very back track, you want to be able to reach it. And what we did is we accommodated that with this cutout section here. This is kind of why it looks a little weird right now. But with this cutout, we're able to walk all the way back in here and comfortably reach all the way around and pick up. Now, there are a couple places where it'll be a bit of a reach, but you know, that's to be expected, and just have to deal with it.
And I am really glad he dropped the notion on me doing this, because my first inclination was right about here and come straight across. But no, I mean, this is actually very nice, very reachable, and still have a nice, you know, area to work with, you know. So thank you much.
Now, Roland, I see we have a few engines scattered around here. Is there anything you wanted to say about some of these fine-looking models?
This is a 440. This is one I've been wanting for a while, and I finally got it. I do have some other videos that I could post to where you can actually see this running. And I got little passenger cars behind it. This is a 060. This is going to be one of my switchers that I'm going to start just moving idle stuff around and just, you know, just having fun with it. This was my first locomotive. My garage, my garage sale specials. I intend on putting DCC in this at one point, another episode. And yeah, this is one you've been seeing a lot lately. This one runs. I don't know how old it is, but it still works. So I'm going to change it over to DCC, and that's a whole nother episode. So, once again, thank you for watching. And if you're in a club, support it. We're with Chicago. Oh, good grief, man. Where am I?
Elmhurst Model Railroad Club.
Elmhurst Model Railroad. Okay. America's Best Train and Hobby.com. Check it out. It's where I shop. Very nice people. I like them a lot. I would like to support them. So visit their website, and if you're in the area, drop by and give them a visit. Until next time, stay in tune for episode 4, or continue, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, Don't forget to hit that little bell and press that like button. So until then, this is Two Dudes in a Train. Ed and Roland here. Until next time.